Hi and welcome everyone. My name is Sarai Darbandi and I am a toxic shame and trauma expert. And something I wanted to talk about today that really sparked my interest and just got me, I'm starting to get more enthusiastic and inspired to get on here and start showing videos. And I really knew that a topic that everyone really needs to know about is our inner critic. And I can't say this enough. We can really be so hard on ourselves. That voice inside of that no one else really hears but us is, it's like really scary. Sometimes people tell me the meanest things that they say to themselves. They say, Sarai, I tell myself I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm not good enough. And I've done all these things to myself too. And so the thing to really slow down and begin to understand is to start looking at our timeline in our lives and really ask ourselves the question, who spoke to me this way? Who treated me this way? Who taught me that it was okay to think about myself like this? Because if you sit there and really think about it, someone will come to mind. It's either an ex-partner, it's your mom, your father, a sibling. Someone will come to mind, a bully, or it could be all of those things, right? Oftentimes when we're recovering from trauma, there's compacted experiences that were oftentimes inescapable. And we just end up believing these things about ourselves because we didn't have the consciousness to be like, well, screw that asshole, he doesn't know who I am. No, because you were 5 or 7 or 8, and then these beliefs just end up being in your brain, your central nervous system, and your cells in adulthood, and then you start like wondering what's going on because the events are over, yet you still feel this way. And so that's because trauma and toxic shame have long-lasting effects. Doesn't mean it's impossible to recover and move from surviving to thriving though. So one of the ways to begin to identify the inner critic is to begin to tune in to your thoughts and your beliefs and just like your internal experience, and begin to think about who has hurt you, who has harmed you. And this really will call you to step into a grieving experience if you've never done that, which will, it will be very sad, it'll be very intense, but it's needed for what's called emotional intelligence. It moves us from denial to, shifting into a healing narrative, moving from what's wrong with me to what happened to me. So the next time you're cooking or you're making a cup of coffee or having a conversation with your friend, what's coming up inside that's making you feel like you want to hide or you're not good enough. And, think about that person who's hurt you and begin to feel the feelings of that. And then you want to step in and affirm yourself. And whatever it is that person made you feel, I'm not pretty enough, I'm ugly, I'm not good enough. You want to basically begin to speak to yourself as if you were going to speak to a child of yours or a child, because that child is you. And I'll do some other videos about inner child work and that sort of thing. And you want to say things like, you're good just as you are. That's a really big thing for me because I have struggled with perfectionism most of my life. So you're good just as you are. There's a quote by Alanis Morissette, which I absolutely love, and I would be good if I did nothing. And for a lot of us who are flight types, who are busy, doing nothing is not okay. But I'm here to tell you it is. So we want to, the opposite. So I'm okay as I am. I accept and love myself as I am in this moment. All my thoughts and feelings are okay. I came from a family where emotions were like, what are those? It's like, it was like a virus. Don't come around with me with those. So as you can see, I use humor a lot to cope sometimes. And I think when you get to a point in your recovery, you know, laughing about it can be really healthy, because like, it's, for me, it's a sign of like, I've overcome the energy of which that's pulled me down. But there's still days where, you know, you'll see me in a pillow crying, so that's okay. And so, you know, so yeah, like, I'm okay as I am. It's okay if I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. I can set boundaries and feel good about them. You know, start to build an affirmation list. You know, sit down, write, and begin to list affirmations. And as I go along and I get to know you guys, of course, I'll add more tools onto my website, but I'm just starting out. So that is your Sunday, you know, boom, get you ready for the week, and start listening to the inner critic and notice who that is, so you can finally separate and eventually cut the cord with that person and begin to give yourself the love that you've always deserved. And now you get a chance to give it to yourself. So namaste, guys. I will see you very soon.